So do you need a gimbal with your GoPro Hero 9 Black? In this video we're gonna do 3 tests, and I'm gonna do a simple walking, running, and show you how Hypersmooth looks like in low light conditions. So in this video I'm going to use my old and trusted GoPro Hero 6 Blacks on a camera grip versus GoPro Hero 9 Black. Don't focus on the colors and the overall picture quality. Instead, just focus on the stabilization itself. Alright, so let me show you some examples. And now, let's see how it's gonna look like on the Hypersmooth High. So I just set Hero 9 Black to the horizon leveling with boost stabilization. This is probably the best stabilization that you can set this camera on. And as you guys see, the surface is really rough. The terrain is uneven, so that should even make things worse for this comparison. So let's find it out. And now let us see how Hypersmooth gonna work in a little bit more dynamic activity. So let's see how Hypersmooth gonna work against a gimbal while running. And now let's set it to Hypersmooth Boost with linear and horizon leveling and see how it looks like. Alright guys, so since we already seen how Hypersmooth works in broad daylight when it comes to simple walking and running, I just thought to myself, like, why not just show you how Hypersmooth looks like in low light. So right now we're gonna test out Hypersmooth in Hero 9 Black against a gimbal. Alright guys, so let's summarize it all. Hero 9 Black has a really impressive electronic image stabilization, and for majority of users this should be probably good enough. However, I noticed that Hypersmooth ON really struggles whenever it comes to simple activities such as walking or running, whenever your camera is going simply up and down. If you're going to use it on riding or sliding, then this should be probably good enough for you as well. However, Hypersmooth has its limitations. For example, you cannot use horizon leveling feature with a wide field of view or super view. You can only use it in linear. So whenever you want the best possible image stabilizations, you are kind of limited and you have to set your camera to linear field of view, and then you can set it to horizon leveling. Now, with the Hero 9 Black, you are allowed to use boost stabilization across all the resolutions and frame rates, which is a good thing to have. However, if you notice, Hypersmooth Boost crops in on your image by 22%. And this shouldn't be a big problem as long as you can have enough distance between you and your subject that you're recording. If you are in a really tight spot, it can get in the way because you can simply end up being too close to your subject. Also, Hypersmooth is not really that great when you record a video in low light. So why does it happen like that? Hypersmooth, in other words, is like an electronic image stabilization, and it really requires a fast shutter speed to have every single frame of your video crystal clear, and then simply connect it together. Now, if the conditions that you're recording your video are not great, and perhaps you're recording in a forest or during the evening in low light condition, then what happens is that your camera is trying to simply slow down on your shutter speed, thus letting more light into the camera. But as a result, you end up with some motion blur and jitter in your video. So that being said, Hypersmooth never gonna be good for indoor shooting and low light conditions. For that, you're gonna need a gimbal. And the same thing happens whenever you're using ND filters with your GoPro. You are simply reducing the amount of light that's reaching the camera, thus you're slowing down on your shutter speed. So whenever you plan to use ND filter with your GoPro, I highly recommend you to use a gimbal. Alright guys, so what do you think about the stabilization test? Do you think that the Hypersmooth on the GoPro Hero 9 Black is good enough, or is it even better than the gimbal itself? Let me know what you think about it in the comment sections below. And for today guys, that's it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned something from it. We put so much effort into making this one, and I really hope that you liked it and enjoyed it. Anyway guys, thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and smash that notification button so you don't miss my future content. And see you guys in the next one. Bye.